Valley Club, we just got the info for what looks to be the boss for Grim Forest. Looks to be a tough boss, but the rewards look to be very, very worth it. Some new relics and a new 9-piece set. We're gonna talk about all these things, and if you're ready for it, you know what you do, Valley Club. Find that like button and let's go smash it. Valley Club, the countdown for the Grim Forest is almost here. We got the latest info for the boss. I want to review what was revealed over the past couple of days, the relics and the new 9-piece set. If you get some value from the video today, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you know as soon as a brand new Raid Shadow Legends video goes up. But without further ado, let's go check out the Grim Forest. And if we scroll this down here, there is a timer, 19 hours and 9 minutes as of me recording this, and it looks to be this fog of war. Also, we got the info for this squad. So what it says here, before you venture into the Grim Forest, you need to build 2 team decks with your best champions to create a squad. Every battle in this game will be begin by drawing random champions from these decks. So you can only build your team to take on a specific stage from their number. So the normal mode, you need 10 champions per deck, so 20 champions total. The hard mode, 20 champions per deck, so 40 total. So I guess that the hard mode is gonna be, you're gonna need some good champs that are very versatile, do a bunch of things. But before we get into the boss, the relics, and everything else about Grim Forest, I do want to remind you, if you want to get off to one of the best starts in Raid Shadow Legends, use that QR code up there. That will get you Narma the Return, great poisoner, especially if you get her on day 1. Pairs very well with the Xenomorph, which you're going to get for free after logging in for 7 days. And as soon as you have Narma in your account, enter one of these codes to get another legendary champ. My recommendation would be to use a Desert Queen code to get 200 because she's a great support champ, one of the best in the game. Also pairs very well with Narma and the Xenomorph. So you're going to get off to a great start. Plus, as you reach various levels, you're going to get some great epic champs in your account as well to help you progress. But we just got the latest info on what looks to be the boss for Grim Forest. This character's name is Mimic. And if we go and check out what was released about his kit, let's zoom in a little bit more. So the first attack, the A1, is going to attack all enemies, deals additional pure damage equal to 5% of each target's max HP for each buff on them. So yeah, it's gonna be more damage for more of the buffs, the more good stuff on you. Has a 50% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack debuff for 2 turns. So yeah, has some damage mitigation for himself as well. Attacks one enemy, place a stun debuff for 1 turn, would attack all remaining enemies if the stun debuff wasn't placed. So if you resist it, everyone is gonna get attacked. Decrease the turn meter of all enemies without a stun debuff by 30%. Ooh, okay. Next, feeding time summons a mimic minion, mini mimic to the battle to ingest the enemy with the highest crit damage for 4 turns. The mini mimic's HP is equal to 20% of the mimic's HP. Its defense is equal to 70% of the mimic's HP and has the same resistance as the mimic. So it's like almost as strong as the mimic. At the start of the mimic's turn, the mini mimic deals damage equal to 25% of the target champion's HP. Ooh, just a quarter of your health gone. After 4 turns or when the mini mimic is defeated, the target champion is returned to the battle and the mini mimic leaves the battle. Only 1 champion can be transferred to the mini mimic at a time. Places a 30% decreased speed debuff on all other enemies for 2 turns. And what ingest does, when summoned to the battle, the mini mimic will ingest the champion with the highest crit damage. Whenever a mimic takes turn in the battle, the mini mimic will deal damage to the ingested champion. 25% of their current HP. The ingested champion will feed from the mini mimic when it's defeated for 4 turns after 4 turns have passed. While ingested, a champion is considered removed from the battle. They cannot receive buffs, debuffs, or instant effects, and they cannot be selected as a target for a skill. The ingested state cannot be removed except by defeating the mini mimic. So it sounds like a Hydra head. When they ingest you, you gotta free your champions from this, or waiting for. Oh, okay. So you can also wait for 4 turns. When ingesting a champion, the mini mimic will ignore block debuffs, veil, and perfect veil debuffs and resistance. A champion can still be ingested even if they already have 10 debuffs on them. Okay. No more than 1 mimic can be present in battle at any time. Oh, that's not that bad. And then, well, it still is gonna be bad, but still, you don't have to deal with more than 1, and no more than 1 champion can be ingested at a time. The mimic cannot use the feeding time skill to consume more than 1 mini mimic per battle, and then has a bunch of passives as well. So the first one, for every 3 buffs the enemy team receives, decrease the cooldown of feeding time skill by 1 turn. The start of Mimic's turn, if there is a mini Mimic present in the battle, heals the Mimic by 25% of its max health. So constant healing. And then going for this feeding time every time you're getting or every 3 buffs that you're getting. The other passive, immunity, immune to stun, freeze, sleep, provoke, block, active, still block, passive skills, fear, true fear, petrification, berserk, enfeeble, nullify, and snare, fatigue, and hunter's gaze. Debuffs also immune to HP. It's not immune to the infested, the one from the xenomorph. Also immune to HP, exchange effects, HP balancing effect, and cooldown increasing effects. Yeah, no infested there. Nice. All right, the other passive, all turn meter reduction effects are decreased by 50% when used against the boss. The awakened weakness, let me scroll this up a little bit more. Decrease the damage inflicted by the boss for each awakening level on the champion, 2.5% for levels 1 to 2, 5% for levels 3 to 6, stacks up to 25%. Also increases the damage received by the boss for each awakening level attacking on the attacking champion. 5% for levels 1 to 2, 10% for levels 3 to 6. It stacks up to 50% as well. So yeah, you're getting more damage and the boss is taking less damage the stronger your champions are from their awakening effects, I guess. And then a almighty strength, the damage from the skills. That skill based on enemy max HP cannot exceed 5% of the boss's max HP when attacking the boss. Damage from HP burn debuffs cannot exceed 1% of the boss's max HP. Sounds like poison is the way to go because yeah, the enemy max HP skills not doing as much, and an HP burn not doing as much as well. So nothing about poison. So maybe the Narma, maybe the Xenomorph will be a great champion for this. Now, as far as a new relic, it was covered yesterday by Ash, and this is what the set is gonna do. The Grim Force artifact set called Mercurial introduced. So the set bonuses: 1 piece, resistance up by 20. HP goes up by 15% with 2 pieces, and 3 pieces, speed 8%. Now this is for the first thing, grants the wearer a total guard stack at the start of the round. Each stack blocks all incoming damage and any associated effects. The speed goes up by 12% when you have 5 pieces, 6 pieces, and it's 2 stacks of total guard at the start of the round. Each stack blocks all incoming damage and any associated effects. Resistance goes up by 20 with 7 pieces, 8 pieces, speed up by 12%, and a 9 piece is when it gets really, really crazy. Now, getting 6 pieces shouldn't be that bad. You know, you're getting your normal artifacts, but when you're talking about your accessories, your rings, your banners, those are a little harder to get because you cannot really choose and select the faction that it's going to. So the 9 piece is going to be hard to get, but it is going to be well worth it if you are able to collect these. Grants the wearers 3 stacks of total guard at the start of the round. Each stack blocks all incoming damage and any associated effects. This is the big one though. Also places a total guard stack at the start of the champion's turn if they have no total guard stacks. So let's go read what total guard does. And this is from the Grim Force. Again, this is the buff. The total guard buff will block any single instance of damage and all status effects a champion receives from enemy skills. So passives that apply poison, they're not gonna work if someone has this stack there. You have to remove the stack. You can't remove it by doing damage, but if they have that 9-piece set, every turn they're gonna get a new one. That gets really, really crazy. The champion can receive multiple stacks of a total guard buff. Each total guard stack will block a single instance of damage from enemy skill. So if it has a multi-hit attack, that's gonna remove 1 stack of the total guard. So that keep that in mind. There it goes. It will block any associated effects such as debuffs, including guaranteed unresistible debuffs, destroy max HP effects, equalize HP effects, swap HP effects, debuff spread effects, decrease or equalize turn meter effects, instant activation of poison or HP burn debuffs, and polymorph debuffs. As long as the champion has at least 1 total guard stack, they'll be immune to all negative effects, except increased cooldown effects from skills that do not afflict damage. So yeah, if the ones that do not afflict damage, That I can't think of any characters that do that. I know Alice's does, and that's the character that I'm looking at on my roster. A champion will lose a stack of total guard whenever they would take damage from another champion's skill. This includes damage taken from all ally protection buffs, reflect damage buffs, as well as passive skills that share or reflect damage. A champion will not lose a stack of total guard when they take damage from masteries, blessings, or relics. So yeah, there's some masteries, blessings, relics that apply like extra damage. That's not going to remove the total guard. And if a champion's under both total guard and block damage when receive damage from an enemy champion skill, they'll lose a stack of total guard. If a champion takes damage that is reduced reduced to 0 by another champion's passive skills, it will lose a stack of total guard. All bosses will still ignore total guard, so it is more of a PvP set. Now, as far as the new relics, we got a few of them. The rare one is Steel-Eyed Cutter. Now, I'm guessing the relics, this set will be in the hard mode, so hopefully it's content that I can start to get some pieces for, but the Steel-Eyed Cutter is from the group. Now, we don't know the effects on any of these, but what this one's gonna do, 20% chance to ignore 5% of the enemy's defense when attack. I kind of like that one. That's a pretty good one for a rare one. Hoarder's Cauldron is 20% chance to ignore 10% of the target's resistance when applying debuffs. Both of these are pretty good, pretty simple, but I think they're pretty good, better than some of the other rares that I have in my account right now. The epics we have: whenever a wearer receives damage, has a 20% chance to heal them by 20% of the damage received. I don't like that one. I like the rares a little better. Only a 20% chance, goes up by a few chances there, but only 20%. I'm not liking that one too much. The Compass of Anaxia. Whenever a wearer is under crowd control debuff, all turn meter fill effects increase the turn meter by additional 20%. All right, not bad. Someone that needs some turn meter fill, I guess. The better ones are these we got two really good legendaries, and of course the mythicals are really good, but I have 0 mythicals on my account, so it's probably going to be a while before I get some of these, but these legendaries look really good. Once per round, where with the Soulmar Crystal, once per round, wearer has 50% chance to activate an instant turn effect when one or more enemies are killed. I'm thinking of my Prava the Slitherer or a Lady Noelle. Instant turn, getting a chance to revive these characters right away. That is great for revivers. I love that skill. Or that what is that? Relic. All right. Spore Burst Rod. Whenever a wearer places a poison or bomb debuff, 10% chance of placing a second debuff. Only counts debuffs placed by active skills. That makes it a little less appealing. The characters that place it with their passives would be great. But yeah, this still affects. And then Kraw's Wallbreaker places his bomb with his active skills. 10% chance of getting another one, goes up by a few percents there. If you have a Nishak that places that bombs, if you have a good poison damage dealer like a Narma or a Xenomorph, I couldn't remember his name. That's a good one for them as well. And last but not least, Hornet of Groom, the mythicals. Whenever a wearer's allies are dead, place a block damage on the wearer for 1 turn, 10% chance of placing this buff when a single ally dies. I guess that maybe a reviver for there as well, or maybe your nuker to get that last hit in right before the battle ends. Last but not least, Lens of Intangibility. Wearer ignores 10% of a target's defense at the start of a round. Place a perfect veil on the wearer for 2 turns. While under a veil or perfect veil, wearer ignores additional 5% of defense. I like this. It's great for your damage dealers as well. So let me know what has you most excited about Grim Tower. Is it, or the Grim Forest? Is it some of these new relics? Is it the new 9-piece set? Is it the challenge of the boss, or is it just a new game mode? I think I'm excited for all this stuff. Looks super tough. Looks super challenging. I like it. All right, hopefully you guys got some value from this video, and if you did, leave the video a like. Check me out on social media, and of course, if you want to start at that brand new account or a second account, or get one of your buddies to play with you, use that QR code up there to get that great start for Raid Challenge. I will see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching, guys. Hulkfest bump.